If you've ever just sat down at a piano and messed around on only the black keys, well, you weren't just playing random notes. You were actually tapping into something ancient, a kind of musical DNA, a hidden code that connects cultures across thousands of years. So, what we're looking at today is a really deep musical mystery. It's all about a specific set of 5 notes. And what's so wild is that no matter where you are on Earth, or even when in history you lived, that set of notes just feels right. It feels correct to the human ear. It's like this shared musical intuition that's hardwired into all of us. And that intuition leads us to a really fascinating puzzle. How is it even possible that a musical scale from, say, the court music of ancient China could also be the emotional foundation, the absolute soul of the Mississippi Delta blues? I mean, these are worlds apart. But the answer connects philosophy, physics, and, well, the deepest parts of what makes us human. Okay, so let's give this thing a name. It's called the pentatonic scale. Penta for 5, tonic for tones. A simple 5-note scale. And its unique sound, that feeling of rightness, actually comes from what it doesn't have. It's missing those tense, kind of dissonant half steps you hear in a lot of Western music. And without that tension, you get this open, resolved, almost floating feeling. It's why when you play on the black keys, you basically can't hit a wrong note. Everything just works together. So that begs the question, where did this perfect, tension-free scale even come from? Did someone somewhere just invent it? Well, the answer is way more incredible than that. It looks like the scale wasn't invented at all. It was discovered. And its origins, they're not in human culture. They're in the fundamental laws of nature itself. And this is really the key takeaway. The pentatonic scale isn't a human invention. It's a product of physics. You could almost call it a mathematical inevitability, just woven right into the fabric of sound itself. It's like the universe tuned this scale for us, long, long before we ever even thought to pick up an instrument. Okay, so how does physics actually build a musical scale? It's surprisingly simple. Whenever a string vibrates on a guitar, a piano, anything, it doesn't just make one single note. It also creates a whole series of quieter, higher notes called overtones. Now, the first and loudest of these overtones give us 2 crucial musical intervals, the octave and the perfect fifth. And those 2 intervals, they're the natural physical building blocks. When we stack them, we get the pentatonic scale. Our ears aren't inventing anything. They're just recognizing a pattern that physics already laid out for us. So, keeping that physical reality in mind, let's go back to our original question. If this scale is a universal constant, a law of nature, then how on earth did 2 completely different cultures end up interpreting the exact same set of notes in such different ways? This is where the human story comes roaring back into the picture. And this is where you really see the split. In ancient China, those 5 notes were understood as a reflection of cosmic order, of balance, of stability. But then you go to the Mississippi Delta, and those exact same 5 notes became the way to express the deepest human longing, sorrow, and even joy. I mean, it's the same notes, but they're describing completely different worlds of meaning. In the Chinese context, this scale was called the gong scale, and it was so much more than just music. It was an entire philosophical system. Each of the 5 notes was tied to a core element: earth, metal, wood, fire, water. It was like a musical map of the cosmos. So the music wasn't just for listening, it was a tool for aligning humanity with the harmony of the heavens. It was all about achieving resolution and balance. But then, in the American South, something truly remarkable happened. Enslaved people, carrying their own musical traditions from West Africa, where, by the way, this scale was also very common, they adapted it to their new, incredibly harsh reality. They took that mathematically pure, stable structure and they added a profoundly human touch. By bending certain pitches just slightly, they created what we now call the iconic blue notes. And in doing so, they infused that ancient scale with a powerful, raw expression of grit and deep, deep emotion. Now, those 2 examples are incredibly powerful, but they're really just the tip of the iceberg. The pentatonic scale isn't just a bridge between 2 cultures, it's a bridge between pretty much all of them. It's this piece of shared human heritage that just keeps popping up again and again all over the globe. I mean, you can hear it everywhere once you start listening. You hear its echo in the haunting melodies of Scottish folk songs, in the sacred ritual chants from the Andes, in the complex, beautiful patterns of West African kora music. And yeah, you definitely hear it in the searing guitar solos of modern rock and roll. It's amazing proof that no matter how different our histories are, our ears are all fundamentally attuned to the same basic frequencies. So where does that leave us? What does it all mean? We've gone from just playing the black keys on a piano all the way to the physics of vibrating strings, and from ancient Chinese philosophy to the very heart of the blues. And the whole thing comes back to this one feeling, a feeling that is somehow both cosmic and incredibly personal at the same time. In the end, the pentatonic scale is so much more than just a collection of notes. It really is a universal language, one that we all just seem to instinctively understand. It's the sound of resolution, of stability. It's the sound of something that just feels right. You could say it's the sound of home, and it was written for all of us in the laws of physics.